I'm so excited that you've decided to join me tonight. We are live, everything is working. So, let me ask this question. Do you have the business that you want? Is your business growing as fast as you would like it to? Or have you found yourself stalled, not having any growth, you're not where you think you should be and you're feeling really frustrated? Maybe you've been in business for a month, maybe you've been in business for a year, maybe you've been in business for 3 years. You've tried everything, every tactic, you've listened to everything the gurus have told you, you've done everything that you think you should, and you're still not having any luck. I completely understand. I have been in that same place multiple different times because we go through different spurts in our business where we'll have that stunt in growth and we can't figure out what we need to do to move to that next step. Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what it is that makes you have that stunt and then what can you do to overcome it. So before we get started, in case you're new to my channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. My name is Sandy, and I empower entrepreneurs who are stuck in their 9 to 5 grind to fast track their business growth so that they have everything they need to reach their final resignation day, baby. You've finally given your pink slip. And if you are struggling with what we've talked about, I do have a free resource that goes with this live. It is my entrepreneur's manifestation blueprint. It will show you how to use manifestation, how to start changing your thinking so that you actually attract what you want in your life. That's half the battle. It's how we think about things that really stops us from getting what we want. So this manifestation guide will break that down for you so that you know exactly what you need to be doing. So let's dive in. What is it that you need to do? Excuse me while I just move things over here on my computer. What is it that you need to be doing differently to get where you want to go? Well, the first thing you need to do is really just have a self awareness. How are you behaving or who are you being in your business? Are you being the person that you need to be in order to have whatever level of success you're looking for? Maybe you're looking for a 5 figure business a month. Maybe you're looking for a 6 figure business a year. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you're looking for, you have to be that person. And many of us are employees. We've been employees for a long time. We've decided to start this entrepreneur adventure on the side while we're still working full time, and we have been programmed to be an employee. Well, there is a big difference on how we think, act, and operate as an employee than an entrepreneur. And so when we get into entrepreneurship, we think, we can just do it like we did our jobs, or maybe we can just wing it, and that it doesn't work. It's not going to work for you. You may have some success, which you may have seen that you were able to reach a few thousand for a few months. Maybe you reached it for, a longer time, but then you just hit a plateau. And that's about the being. Who are you being in your business? Are you being the person that you need to be in order to have it? So let's break this down. In my program, I really do have 3 pillars that I stand on. One is, how am I thinking? So what does your thinking look like? How am I acting? And how am I operating? And am I doing all of these at a 6-figure level? Maybe you don't want a 6-figure level job, or business, but if you act and think and operate at a 6-figure level, you're going to hit whatever goal it is you want to. So let's start with the thinking. How are you thinking about your business? Are you looking at it as a side hustle? Are you totally all in? Do you believe to your core that you can do this, that it's possible for you to actually have a business that will allow you to walk away from your 9 to 5 grind? Or are you just kind of hoping and praying that it's going to happen, but you're not really believing that it's going to happen? Are you thinking like an entrepreneur in that maybe you need to get some help. That was my challenge. I was working full time with a pretty intense full time job and trying to build a business on the side. And there aren't enough hours in the day. And I didn't want to spend money because I wasn't making money yet in my business. Well, that's a broken strategy. That's thinking like an employee. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you have to think like an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur knows that time is the most valuable asset you have. So unless the thing you are doing has the potential to earn the amount you want to have for the year. So if you're looking at 100,000, and let's say you want to work 20 hours a week in your business, you kind of have to do the math to go, okay, that hourly rate, for me, that hourly rate turned out to be $250 when I first got started. So I had to start looking at things I was doing in my business and going, is this really going to give me $250 in return? Like editing my videos. Is that a thing that I should do, or is that a thing I should outsource? Going and posting on all my social media channels. Should I be doing that, or should I consider outsourcing? So you really have to look at, how am I thinking in my business? What are the thoughts? Be very aware of your thoughts, because they can be incredibly self-sabotaging. If you want this business, but you're thinking, oh, well, you know what, if it works, great, but maybe it won't work, that's okay too. And you're teeter-tottering back and forth. Trust me, the universe knows, and it's not going to give you what you want. Now, the second thing is, how are you acting? What are your habits? What are your characteristics? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? If the sun's out and it's really nice and everyone's heading to the beach, are you ditching the videos that you needed to produce that day so you can go to the beach? Or are you staying self-integral to yourself and doing what you're supposed to do? Do you have a schedule, time allotment schedule that you devote to your business, or do you kind of wing it? So do you have habits in place that are going to make you successful in business, or are you just hoping for the best? If we don't have those things in play, and we don't act like an entrepreneur, and we're still kind of trading time for money, and we're thinking about it as an employee, maybe you're got a full-time job, but you're just not making enough money for maybe some things you want to do, not necessarily that you need to, but things you want to do. So you get a second job instead of focusing in on your business. Sometimes the gains, especially when you're building a business, it's slow. At the front end, it can be slow, but if you stick with it on the back end, it's going to be far bigger than what you're making in your day job. So you have to act like you are already a six-figure business owner. You can't wait until you get to six figures. You have to start acting in a way now that's going to get you there. And just a reminder, if you haven't done it, go into my description and you'll see the link to get the free resource, which is my Entrepreneur's Manifestation Guide. It is really going to help you with the thinking part of this, as well as the acting, and how you can think your way and act, because it takes actions, to getting what you want in your business. So the last piece is operate. Do you have a business plan? Let's just start there. I can't tell you how many people I have met, and when I ask them some simple questions like, well, how much do you want to make in your business? How much do you need in order to walk away from your job? What is that threshold for you so that you can, be an entrepreneur full time? What are your bills each month? Most people cannot answer that. Or marketing. What do you have in play for marketing? I'll hear a lot of tactics, but I don't hear about a marketing plan. And understanding what are my KPIs, or the things that I'm going to measure my marketing by, to even know whether it's being successful or not. So to operate like a six-figure business, you have to have a business plan in place. You have to have a marketing plan in place. You basically have to have a strategy and a plan of, how am I going to take my business to where I want it to go? It's not going to just get there. I've spent 30 years in corporate, building small businesses inside of a larger business, managing $1 million budgets. Trust me, I didn't wing it. I had to have a plan in play. I had to know, how much budget did I have to spend? So what is your budget if you're going to do any kind of paid media, to do outsourcing, all of these different things that you're going to do, because when you become an entrepreneur, you're suddenly going to be wearing like 10 different hats. So you need to start looking at, okay, which hats are my expertise and that make sense for me to wear versus which one should I be outsourcing to someone to do. And maybe getting that second job is so that you could pay to outsource some of this work. Because I know for me, there were certain things that I was doing in my business that were making me so frustrated and hating my business that I was like, this makes no sense. If I'm not enjoying this, I'm not going to be doing very well. So make sure that you're operating. You have a sales funnel. What does it look like when a prospect comes across you? What's their journey look like? It's called the customer journey. From the time they come in as a prospect and first learn about you, what are the things they're going to see? How are you going to get them onto your list so that you can start to nurture them? You have to have all of these things figured out and a system in play. What's your customer service strategy? What's your money back guarantee? What kind of program do you want to build? All of these things are kind of part of the bigger plan of your business plan, but then how are you going to execute and operate on all of these things? So they work together. When you have this working together well, then you're in a place where all you're going to be doing is really looking at your metrics. What's working? What's not? Of the things I'm doing for marketing, where am I seeing results? And if after 90 days, because I work in 90-day increments, if after 90 days I'm not seeing results, then I have to evaluate, what can I do differently? Maybe the messaging is off. Messaging's huge. Are you talking to the right audience? Like for me, my audience is the 9-to-5er who's frustrated, done, wants out. And what I do is help you fast track that ability to get out and hand in your resignation, your final resignation. So who are you talking to? Make sure that you're really specific on who you're talking to. Again, this is really part of that strategy that comes with the operating, that includes your sales and your marketing and your communication and your leadership and all of these areas. So just to recap, we've got your thinking. How are you thinking? You're acting. How are you acting in your business? Are you acting like a 6-figure business owner? And then we have your operating. How are you operating within your business? And if you have all these things working together and you have a plan, and I do have a program that this is what we do. We take you through all 3 of these. We'll start with the thinking, because we got to get rid of the stinking thinking that's going on. We have stories, we have limiting beliefs, we have excuses, we have triggers, we have all these things that if we don't clear those out, we got no chance of moving forward. That is the one thing I learned, hands down, most important. Until you get your thinking in the place it needs to be, you're not going to be successful. Well, once we get that thinking under control, then we're going to work on the acting. How are you showing up in your business? Are you showing up like it's a side hustle and you're just going to wing it and see how it goes? Or are you showing up at a 6-figure level? And then the operating. Are you operating your business as if it's a 6-figure, or are you just hoping for the best and don't have any systems or processes or plans, anything in place? Let me know if this was helpful. Go ahead and put a comment in. Let me know if you're, watched it live or you're watching the replay. And again, don't forget to grab yourself the resource. You'll find it in the description. It is a great place to start getting your thinking turned around. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside.